오늘은요, 아주 오랜만에 인사를 드리는 인물입니다. 네, 누구인지 바로 만나보면 좋을 것 같은데요. 미국에서 오신 케일라 씨. 네.
Okay, Kayla 씨.
나와주세요.
Hi everyone! So, my favorite hobby has to be cooking. Kind of always had a knack for it ever since I was a kid, but I think that's pretty much due to my stepdad. He happens to be the most amazing cook I have ever met. We would have this routine where every Saturday he and I would pick out a meal, prepare it, and then cook it for my family. I kind of think my mom liked that situation the most. Anyway, now that I'm a little bit older, I find that cooking is more of a stress reliever for me. I've watched TV shows, read magazines, read cookbooks, and I've even talked to chefs about their own personal styles of cooking and techniques. I also really like going to different countries and learning about different cuisines and different ways I can cook food and prepare it. Nowadays, my stepdad lives a little bit too far away, so I don't get to cook with him as often as I'd like, but I hope that one day maybe he and I can cook together again, and I might even be able to teach him a thing or two.
Interesting story.
Very interesting story.
네, 요리를 잘하게 된 그런 계기도 있군요. 그리고 요리를 원래부터 좋아했고요. 자, 어떤 이야기였는지 구체적으로 같이 공부해 보겠습니다.
Okay, so the very first thing she says is, Hi everyone, so my favorite hobby has to be cooking. Hi everyone, so my favorite hobby has to be cooking.
You don't have to do this too.
Oh,
네.
well, I feel like it should be,
Okay.
I should act it out well.
네. 이렇게까지 손짓까지 같이 해주셨고 안녕하세요 인사를 한 다음에 So my favorite hobby has to be cooking. 제가 제일 좋아하는 취미는 요리예요 라는 말인데 사실 is cooking, my favorite hobby is cooking 해도 되는데 has to be cooking이라고 한 거는 꼭 분명히 이거다.
Right. So instead of saying has to, you could say is definitely cooking.
그렇죠.
You're just putting emphasis on it. Has to be cooking.
네,
Yeah.
요리가 되어야 한다라는 말인데 확실히 요리인 것 같다는 뜻이죠. Alright, let's move on to the next one.
So the next one has a part that she says which is very fast at the very beginning. So let's take a look at the clip.
Okay.
Kind of always had a knack for it ever since I was a kid. Kind of always had a knack for it ever since I was a kid.
네.
Okay.
어떤 문장이었죠?
I've kind of always had a knack for it ever since I was a kid.
네, 이런 문장인데 사실은 이 문장을 머릿속에 그리고는 있었겠지만 I've 부분은 발음이 되지 않았어요.
Right, she
네.
didn't. And actually that happens a lot
That's right,
oftentimes
that's right.
because we just want to get to the most important part of the sentence.
네,
Yeah.
그래서 거의가 아니고 실제로 문장이 kind of로 시작이 됩니다. 그렇지만 글로 쓸 때에는 kind of always had 이렇게 쓰면 안 되겠죠. 글로 표현을 할 때에는 I가 들어가야 되겠고
Right.
이제 그동안 쭉 어떠한 현상이 계속되어 왔으니까 I've always had 네, 이렇게 됩니다. 어렸을 때부터 항상 요리에 좀 재주가 있었어요. Ever since I was a kid.
Ever since I was a kid.
네, 그리고 have a knack for it. 여기서 말하는 it은
Cooking.
네.
Cooking.
knack 아까 공부할 때 이 문장 구조도 공부했었죠? Okay, let's hear it two more times.
Kind of always had a knack for it ever since I was a kid. Kind of always had a knack for it ever since I was a kid.
Okay, and let's find out how she started with her cooking adventures.
Okay.
But I think that's pretty much due to my stepdad. But I think that's pretty much due to my stepdad.
네, but I think that's pretty much. Pretty much라는 것은 꽤 많은 것도 될 수도 있겠지만 거의를 말하죠.
Yeah,
네.
basically.
That's right.
Yeah.
And due to my stepdad. stepdad라는 거는 물론 새아빠를 말합니다.
Stepfather or stepdad.
stepfather, stepdad라고 표현을 하고요. 그래서 뭐 새아빠 때문이다. 엄마가 she got married again and she has a new husband. So let's find out what happens after that.
Okay. He happens to be the most amazing cook I have ever met. He happens to be the most amazing cook I have ever met.
네, he happens to be라는 것은 뭐 그 he is라고 하는 것과 또 똑같은 뜻이 될 수도 있겠지만 마침 이렇다는 말이죠.
Right. So it's like you're saying, oh, this is Hyunwoo and he happens to be, a teacher on EBSe 생활영어.
That's right.
Yeah.
그래서 he's a good father, he's a good person, but he also happens to be.
Right.
때마침 뭐도 잘하시냐면
Right.
요리도 잘하신다라는 말이죠. 그래서 he happens to be the most amazing cook. The most amazing cook 하면 가장 뛰어난 요리사죠.
Yes.
I've ever met. 그렇지만 영어에서는 이렇게 요리사라고 한다고 해도 he's a runner, he's what else is there? He's a reader, he's a writer. 그게 직업이 아니어도 그렇게 쓸 수 있어요.
Yeah. So anything that people can do, you can definitely just use it in that way.
네, she's a good singer. 제가 메간 선생님을 가리키면서 she's a good singer라고 말을 해도
Or
가수는 아닌 거죠.
Right. So not saying that it's my job to be a singer, but it just means that I'm good at that thing,
네.
even if it's not your job.
네, 그래서 아빠가 요리사인 건 아닙니다. 요리를 잘하시는 거죠.
Right.
And then
We would have this routine where we would have this routine. Routinei라는 것은 일상적으로 반복되는 것을 말하죠. Things that you do regularly, so maybe once a week or even once a month, you could consider it to be a routine in this case.
그렇죠. 정해진 루틴이 있었는데 루틴을 소개할 때 루틴 where라고 하면서 그 루틴 속에서 어떤 것들이 어떤 내용이 나오는지가 나옵니다. 뒤에 다음 문장 들어보실 텐데요. 조금은 빨라서 클립 먼저 보여드리겠습니다.
Every Saturday, he and I would pick out a meal, prepare it. Every Saturday, he and I would pick out a meal, prepare it.
네. 단어들은 그렇게 어렵지 않은데 좀 연음이 심했어요.
Yeah,
네.
for sure. So let me go ahead and read that sentence for you.
오케이.
Every Saturday, he and I would pick out a meal, prepare it.
Every Saturday, 매주 토요일마다 he and I, 새아빠하고 저하고 would pick out a meal. 일단 그 choose라든지
Yeah, choose.
더 다른 좀 쉬운 단어들이 있을 수 있겠지만 pick out 자체가 이제 pick out 이렇게 연음이 됐어요.
Pick out. Pick out.
게다가 out 자체가 좀 pick out.
Pick out. Maybe
조금만.
she's from an area where they say it like that.
Maybe, yeah.
They're in different states. Some people pronounce words a little bit differently.
That's right.
Yeah.
네, 그래서 약간 발음이 out처럼은 되지 않았습니다.
Right.
out처럼 됐는데
Out.
pick out a meal 어떠한 요리를 고르고 prepare it 준비를 하겠죠. 이런 내용이었습니다. 이런 내용이 나오는 아니면 이런 행동들을 하는 루틴이 있었대요. 매주 토요일마다 정해진 루틴을 묘사하고 있습니다. 루틴 묘사는 아직 끝나지 않았는데 일단 이 부분 다시 들어보시죠.
Every Saturday, he and I would pick out a meal, prepare it. Every Saturday, he and I would pick out a meal, prepare it.
So after preparing the meal, let's find out what happens next. And then cook it for my family.
I see.
And then cook it for my family.
그런 다음에 가족을 위해서 요리를 하는 거죠. So that's the routine.
Right, so the routine. They choose a meal, they pick out a meal, they cook it for the family.
That's right. So she had a routine, or her family had a routine
Routine.
where they would do these things.
Yeah, I bet everyone in the family looked forward to that.
그렇죠.
Yeah.
네, 평소에 요리를 하시던 또 엄마 입장에서는
Right.
또 정말 기대가 됐을 것 같아요. And then she's talking about that in the next sentence.
I kind of think my mom liked that situation the most. I kind of think my mom liked that situation the most.
I definitely think her mom liked the situation the
I'm
most.
sure her
네.
mom really enjoyed that situation.
네, 그래서 엄마가 그 상황을 제일 좋아하셨던 것 같아요라고 I kind of think. 물론 kind of는 꼭 필요한 건 아니지만 그냥
Right.
대화에서 말을 부드럽게 이어가기 위해서 좀 습관적으로 넣는 단어죠 또는 표현이죠. Alright, let's move on.
Anyway, now that I'm a little bit older,
아무튼 예전에는 그랬었는데 다시 이제 이야기를 좀 전환을 하면서 화제 전환을 하면서 Now that I'm a little bit older, 이제 좀 나이가 더 들고 나니 She's not old, she's in her 20s.
right, she's in her
그렇지만,
20s, but she
네.
means before when she was younger, she did that with her stepdad, and now that she's older, she's about to tell us something different,
Which is
which is, I find that cooking is more of a stress reliever for me. I find that cooking is more of a stress reliever for me.
네, 어렸을 때는 이렇게 집에서 어떤 가족의 루틴으로 정기적인 정해진 루틴으로 했던 요리가 이제는 Now that I'm a little bit older,
Right.
나이가 들고 나니 I find that find라는 건 찾는 거지만 I find that she's funny. I find that she is a nice person. I find that this show is useful. 하면 뭐뭐 하더라고요. 일종의 깨달음, realization이죠.
Yeah, it's like you realize. So you used to think something, but now you find that it is, too hard or,
맞아요.
Something. So whenever you want to say something before, like, oh, I used to enjoy, walking But now I find that it's too difficult. Yeah, I don't know.
그렇죠. 예전에는 이랬었는데 I find that
Yeah.
뭐뭐뭐 이렇게 말할 수 있는데 요즘에는 I find that cooking is more of a stress reliever for me. 저로서는 요리를 스트레스를 풀기 위해서 더 하게 된대요. 예전에는 어떤 가족의 의식이었다면 이제는 스트레스가 쌓였을 때 요리를 하는 것이 더 큰 의미가 있는 거죠. And then
I've watched TV shows, read magazines, read cookbooks. I've watched TV shows, read magazines, read cookbooks.
아하, 요리를 더 잘하고 싶어서 이렇게 한 것
Yeah.
같아요. 요리 관련 TV shows, 텔레비전 방송도 보고요. read magazines, read라고 읽으시면 안 되겠습니다.
Right.
네.
Read, because this is in the past, and you know that because she said watched TV shows.
맞아요.
Watched. So
네.
you know, okay. She's watched, she's read.
맞아요.
Yeah.
read가 과거형으로도 과거 분사로도 read, read 이렇게 되니까
Yes.
네, 딱 스펠링은 똑같지만 어떤 것인지 잘 파악하셔야 되겠고요. read magazines 잡지도 읽고 그 다음에 cookbooks 요리 책도 읽었대요. And what else did she do?
And I've even talked to chefs.
오.
And I've even talked to chefs.
네, 요리사들과도 이야기를 나눠본 적이 있대요. About what?
About their own personal styles of cooking and, you know, techniques. About their own personal styles of cooking and, you know, techniques.
네, 그들의 own personal styles of cooking. 그 요리 개인적인 그런 스타일이 있을 거 아니에요.
Of course.
그것들에 대해서도 이야기를 해본 적이 있고, wow, she really made a lot of efforts.
Right?
네, 그리고 you know, techniques, 요리 기법에 대해서도 이야기를 나눈 적이 있대요. Most people don't go as far as you know doing this.
Right. So that's why I think she probably is a great cook herself.
네.
You have to go through all the trouble of asking for everyone's techniques
맞아요.
and things.
보통은 그냥 cookbooks, 요리책을 읽는 거에서 끝나잖아요. 그렇지만 여기서는 더 많은 노력이 보이고 있습니다. Alright, let's move on.
I also really like going to different countries and learning about different cuisines. I also really like going to different countries and learning about different cuisines.
네, I also really like. 저는 또한 무언가를 굉장히 좋아하는데 going to different countries, 다양한 나라에 가는 거죠. different는 여러분 여러 번 강조한 적이 있습니다. 다른 것도 될 수 있겠고 diverse,
Right,
various.
diverse,
Yeah.
various, lots of different places, many places.
그렇죠.
Yeah.
다양한 거죠. different colors 하면은 서로 다른 colors that are different from each other도 될 수 있고
Right,
various colors.
right.
Yeah. Okay. So let's say you and I are wearing clothes in different colors.
And different colors.
색이 다른 것을 입고 있잖아요. 그렇지만 그냥 다 합쳐서 볼 때는 다양한 색깔이 있죠. 네, 그렇게 말하는 그런 내용의 different colors의 두 가지 의미가 되겠습니다. 여기서는 different countries인데 다른 나라가 아니고 다양한 나라들에 가서 learning about different cuisines, 다양한 요리에 대해서 배우는 것도 정말 좋아한대요. Alright, and then?
And different ways I can cook food and prepare it. And different ways I can cook food and prepare it.
네, 그리고 음식을 요리하고 prepare it, 준비할 수 있는 다양한 방법들에 대해서 배우는 거를 정말 좋아하는데 So what is preparing here? Like, you can prepare many things.
Yep, you can prepare many things, but when we talk about preparing food, of course we mean that you're cooking food.
그렇죠.
You're making food.
네, 요리를 준비한다라고 하면 그 요리를 할 준비도 prepare지만
Right, I'm prepared to prepare the food.
네, 그러니까 정말 저는 그냥 요리를 준비하라 그러면 재료를 사는 것까지가 준비라고 생각할 것 같아요.
Right.
그런데 요리를 실제로 하는 것도 prepare라고 할 수 있습니다. 네, 조금은 그 의미가 다를 수 있으니까 주의해 주시고요. And then
Nowadays, my stepdad lives a little bit too far away. Nowadays, my stepdad lives a little bit too far away.
네, 요즘에는 새아빠가 조금은 먼 곳에 사세요. Kayla is living in Korea and her stepdad is back in the
Back in
United
it.
States, so not a little bit too far.
He's definitely quite far away.
Quite far away. 너무 멀리 사시죠? So,
So I don't get to cook with him as often as I'd like. So I don't get to cook with him as often as I'd like.
네, 그래서 원하는 만큼 자주 요리를 같이 할 수는 없대요. I don't get to. When you say you don't get to do something, you don't have the opportunity.
Opportunity, right.
기회가 없는 거죠.
Right, you don't get the opportunity, you don't have the opportunity to do something.
That's right. If you say I don't cook with him 하면은 뭔가 다른 이유가 있을 것 같아요.
Oh yeah, it's like, oh, did you guys have a fight?
네.
You know?
네, I don't like him 이런 느낌으로
Yeah, it's
할
like
수
that.
있겠지만
Yeah.
I don't get to 하면은
Right, it
정말
means-
그냥 의지는 있으나
Right.
기회가 상황이 그렇게 안 되는 거죠.
Right.
Okay. And then
But I hope that one day maybe he and I can cook together again. But I hope that one day maybe he and I can cook together again.
네, 그런데 언젠가 같이 다시 요리를 할 수 있으면 좋겠다. I hope that one day. One day는 하루를 가리키는 것도 있지만 언젠가.
Right.
Someday.
At some point in time. I hope that someday.
그렇죠.
Yeah.
미래 어느 시점에선가 같이 요리를 하면 좋겠다라는 말이고요. And then if that happens, what will she do?
And I might even be able to teach him a thing or two.
네.
And I might even be able to teach him a thing or two.
네, 이 문장에는 좋은 표현이 두 개가 들어있어요.
Yeah.
I might even be able to 이것도 굳어진 표현으로 많이 쓰는데 심지어 이것조차 할 수 있을지 모른다.
Such a long explanation.
That's right. I might even I mean the expression
I know,
itself is
it's very
long.
long, yeah.
I might even be able to
to.
하면 뭐뭐를 심지어 할 수 있을지도 모른다는 말이고요. Teach him a thing or two. A thing or two.
A thing or two. We use that a lot in this case.
That's
You know,
right.
since she's talked to many chefs, etc., she's probably saying, you know, when she was little, she used to learn from him, and now because she's talked to many chefs, she definitely has some things and techniques that he can learn from her.
네, she's better maybe.
She's
네.
better than him.
네, a
Yeah.
thing or two는 정말로 많이 쓰는 표현으로 그냥 한두 가지 정도, 몇 가지라고 할 때 자주 쓰는 a thing or two 표현입니다. Alright, so that concludes the story by Kayla.
Sure does. So, before we move on, we're going to take a look at it 2 more times. The first time with English subtitles and the second time without. So, let's watch.
Hi everyone! So, my favorite hobby has to be cooking. Kind of always had a knack for it ever since I was a kid, but I think that's pretty much due to my stepdad. He happens to be the most amazing cook I have ever met. We would have this routine where every Saturday he and I would pick out a meal, prepare it, and then cook it for my family. I kind of think my mom liked that situation the most. Anyway, now that I'm a little bit older, I find that cooking is more of a stress reliever for me. I've watched TV shows, read magazines, read cookbooks, and I've even talked to chefs about their own personal styles of cooking and techniques. I also really like going to different countries and learning about different cuisines and different ways I can cook food and prepare it. Nowadays, my stepdad lives a little bit too far away, so I don't get to cook with him as often as I'd like, but I hope that one day maybe he and I can cook together again, and I might even be able to teach him a thing or two. Hi everyone! So, my favorite hobby has to be cooking. Kind of always had a knack for it ever since I was a kid, but I think that's pretty much due to my stepdad. He happens to be the most amazing cook I have ever met. We would have this routine where every Saturday he and I would pick out a meal, prepare it, and then cook it for my family. I kind of think my mom liked that situation the most. Anyway, now that I'm a little bit older, I find that cooking is more of a stress reliever for me. I've watched TV shows, read magazines, read cookbooks, and I've even talked to chefs about their own personal styles of cooking and techniques. I also really like going to different countries and learning about different cuisines and different ways I can cook food and prepare it. Nowadays, my stepdad lives a little bit too far away, so I don't get to cook with him as often as I'd like, but I hope that one day maybe he and I can cook together again, and I might even be able to teach him a thing or two.
네, 방금 전에 케일라 씨가 이야기를 다시 해줄 때 여러분 들으셨는지 모르겠지만 아까 이제 아빠가 the most amazing cook I've ever met.
Right.
요리를 정말 잘하신다고 하면서 어떻게 발음했죠?
She said, the most amazing cook I've ever met.
맞아요. 이렇게 the가 the가 되면은 정말
Right.
강조하고 싶을 때죠.
Yeah, so it's like, I think Hyunwoo-sim is the most amazing teacher here.
Here, among the two of us.
I know.
알겠습니다. 칭찬이 좀 가다가 좀 다운그레이드
Yeah,
되는데 그래도 아무튼 강조하고 싶을 때 the가 된다는 거 한 번 더 상기시켜 드리고요. 자, 그러면 또 재미있는 표현들 배우러 가볼까요?
Okay, it's time for Street
Smart.